Hi, Capricorn. So, interestingly enough, this Virgo energy is making you really, really productive right now, which I like. Like, it's bringing you confidence. If some of you feel like you're kind of spinning your wheels and you can't figure out the next direction to go in, give it a couple of weeks. Libra season, we're gonna ease into Libra season, and the energy will lighten up a little bit because we won't have so much Virgo energy happening. But you guys have a very healthy trine with Saturn and Pluto in your sign, and then we have the Sun, Mercury, Mars, and Venus all in Virgo. That changes about mid-month, but I feel like this is a time, if you're a little bit on pause, you're getting some clarity. That we got the Sun as the first card in the deck. And it's very interesting because I was sitting here thinking, you know, the Capricorns that I know genuinely wouldn't see the Sun as like something really super optimistic. Like they would be like, oh, that's really great, but I still have some work to do. Like there's always some more work to do. So even though the Sun was the first card that came out and it's like the best card that you can get in a reading because it talks about happiness and stability and abundance and healing, I feel like the healing and the clarity part is what you're looking at, because you're like, there's always more. I can always be reaching for more. I can always be going for more. We could also be talking about a Leo energy or another fire sign. So we have the King of Wands here and we have Justice. So maybe this clarity that's coming to you, or this optimism, or this healing, or whatever it is, it's sort of shining a light on what it is that you really need to accept in your life and what you need to heal in your life. This hasn't been easy. This transit of Pluto and Saturn together in Capricorn, trining Uranus, trining all of this Virgo, it hasn't been easy. These aspects are really hard. But the beautiful thing about these aspects is you get to learn the lessons and you grow, right? This is a growth period. This is a time not to get frustrated if things aren't working out exactly the way that you want them to, but to understand that everything needs growth and everything has possibility in it. Sit down and get quiet with yourself if you're still unsure about what your wishes and dreams are. If you're a Capricorn that's struggling right now, this is not your reading. I'm just going to tell you that right now. You should probably look at your rising or your moon sign. We're going to clarify these cards too, but getting the Six of Cups, the Four of Cups, and the Star at the bottom of the deck makes me feel like some of you are really starting, like some of you are already anticipating Saturn moving into Aquarius, and you're like, it's party time. You're like, yes, no more Saturn. Because even though it's your planet, you are the most responsible people in the zodiac anyways. You're Big Daddy, right? Like that's what you that's who you guys are. So but even though Saturn is your ruling planet, it was coupled with Pluto. Whew. Like, no, that's so hard to do. That's so hard to do. And you guys have done it with a grace that not many signs are able to do it. And the reason why is because you don't want to cause a big fight. Like, you don't want to cause a big mess. You don't want to cause a commotion. You don't want to create chaos in your life or other people's lives. It's like, what's the point? It doesn't matter. So you guys have really had a grace. And it's almost as if, you know, there's a blessing with the curse, right? You're finally seeing how finding out who you truly are and learning about yourself through these transits that you've had to deal with is bringing you so much insight and so much more balance than where you were before. even if it had to remove people into your life, out of your life. And maybe if you're a Capricorn that's not doing so well, this is your reading, but you're going to see it more towards the end of September. Because right now, the Capricorns that I know that are having a really rough time, they're still learning the lessons of Saturn, and they're learning the lessons of this transition that they're having, that you guys are having to go through, is extremely karmic. And it has to happen. Whether you like it or not, there are people that are going to be removed from your life so that you can get new and better things to come in. So let's see. Yeah, and the light that's shining right now on you guys is more about work. I feel like it's more about work. And because when you guys are overburdened with work, that's like your happy place. Which, I mean, I get it as a Virgo. I get it. I've been a workaholic in my life before, but I couldn't imagine going back to that. I couldn't imagine working 60, 70-hour weeks. But it's almost as if you being overburdened is your happy place. To each their own. I am not going to judge. I am not going to judge. Now, this fire sign could be the Leo is sort of a burden on you. Because I feel like this person isn't being honest. Or I feel like with the Page of Pentacles on the King of Wands, it's a very childlike energy. It's like they're not necessarily an adult yet. They're not necessarily an adult yet. And sorry, I got distracted. Sorry. Totally got distracted. I don't want you to waste your time trying to figure this person out. If they're giving you mixed signals or you're getting mixed messages from somebody in your life, whether it's an earth sign or it's a fire sign, if you're getting mixed signals from somebody in your life, you don't have time for that. I have a motto that I actually read on Instagram where mixed signals are an automatic no. If somebody's giving you mixed signals, if they can't figure out whether they like you enough to pay attention to you or that you're important enough to be in their life, you don't need that. You don't have time for it. You seriously, you don't have, I'm putting my foot down. I'm putting my mama foot down right now, Capricorn. You don't have time because you have a lot of like innovative things to take care of. You have, this Uranus transit in Taurus, it may be really uncomfortable for some people, but you're getting the best advantages of it because you're already used to the change and transformation. You've had Pluto in your sign for 11 years now. Like it's time for this transformation to be happening. And you guys are ready for the innovation. And it's almost as if your karmic retribution is coming back and gifting you with a lot of really great new ideas. And I feel like Libra season is going to be that turning point where something that you've been struggling with for quite some time becomes really clear to you. And you're just like, oh, damn, I can't believe. It's like it was almost sitting in front of your face the entire time. And now it's like you cleaned the glass window with Windex, like the really super potent kind, and now you can see. That's what this Ace of Swords feels like. It's not, and it pertains directly to what it is that you've been dreaming about. Of course, this is a career reading. It has to be. There's the only... Like, yes, okay, so the Six of Cups, all right, it could be a soulmate. This King of Wands could feel like a soulmate in your life, right? If this King of Wands feels like a soulmate in your life, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people feel like soulmates. A lot of people feel you can feel connected to. Not every single one of them is good enough for you to be with. And I want you to think of it that way. Not are you good enough to be with them, it's are they good enough to be with you? Let's see what this Six of Cups is, because I almost want to say that this is like a karmic past, or something from the past is coming back, and you're really going to have to sit with it to understand it. Like, either it's a feeling or it's a person, and maybe it's this fire sign, maybe it's a Libra, maybe it's an Aquarius. Whatever it is that's showing up right now, see, this is why I feel like it's a lesson, because we got the Devil, which is your card, and the Five of Cups on the Six of Cups. It's almost as if there's something that shows up in your life that tries to pull you backwards, that tries to make you go backwards and make you feel guilty or feel bad for feeling so good. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so you're riding along, it's September, things are a little bit muddy, but they're starting to look up, and you get a phone call out of the blue saying someone wants to work with you, like you're consulting or something like that, and they want to work with you, and they're going to pay you this really big salary, or they're going to pay you this really big thing. And even though it's going to be a lot of work to do that could be really overbearing for you, here you go, here's, you know, there's sun shining, all that, blah, blah, blah. Right? I feel like during that, something like that happens, and your old boss calls and says, man, we could really use you. We can't pay you. We can only pay you this much, but you'd be really helping us out if you could come back and work for us, right? It's not as much as that other job that looks really, really good, and it's like golden and everything that you wanted, blah, 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 blah. You're gonna have to look at that, and you might, and that's just an example. Like, it could really literally be anything that's going on in your life, but that's what it feels like is happening here. Is you're being presented with one thing, and then somebody comes along from your past and says, but I want to give this to you instead. And because you have a tie, an emotional tie, because let's face it, all earth signs are emotionally tied to their work. Let's just put it out there on the table. No more hiding, right? Like, my name is Betsy. I'm a Virgo, and I have an emotional tie to my work. That's the way it is, right? The thing with this is you have this emotional tie, and so you feel bad that you have to say, I have to go with this because this is for my best and highest good. If I come back and work for you, I'm only going backwards, and that's not something that I'm not willing to settle right now. I want to go above and beyond and see what I can do. I'm not willing to settle. And that might be the name of your reading, the title of your reading, not willing to settle. Because you're not, whether it's in relationships or whether it's in work or whether, it doesn't matter what it is. You are allowing yourself to not worry about what other people are saying. And you're going to take a risk. And you're going to be vulnerable. And you're going to open up yourself to the possibilities that you haven't opened yourself up to before. Because now it's real. You've been waiting for it for so long, and now it's real. And now it's in front of you. But you're going to have to release something in order to get to the star. And the star is about hope. The star is about healing. The star is about, you know, the wishing upon a star, right? It's about your manifestations coming into form. But you have to be balanced in your emotions first. You see? And when you decide to shift your own energy and you stop letting other people hold on to you, letting other people decide the path that you're going to take. When you decide, and some of you have already decided and you're just getting rolling. Some of you are still in that transition of deciding, do I want to leave my past behind so I can further my future? Or do I want to drag my past with me into my future kicking and screaming? I guarantee you 90% of you are not going to take your past kicking and screaming. The other 10%, your past is going to willingly come with you and be like, do. But you're in charge of it. And boy, do I know that Capricorns like to be in charge. It's not a bad thing to be in charge. But that Wheel of Fortune on the star just proves how much you are in control of your own energy and shifting your fortune to the 10 of Pentacles. Something that you've been fighting for a very long time, 9 of Wands, and the universe is saying, congratulations, you dreamed really, really big and you manifested this. So we have Judgment, we have the 7 of Wands, the 3 of Wands, and the Magician. And because the universe is supporting you so much right now, and you've learned to have healthy boundaries, and you dreamed really, really big, all you have now is celebrations. Possibly celebrations with a fire sign. But with that Queen of Wands fire sign. Here's the thing. If you're waiting for somebody to show up in your life and you can't figure out whether you want them to stay or go, I guarantee you that your best bet is just focusing on yourself right now. Let that Ace of Cups be your guide. Don't let it be the Knight of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles. Don't wait for anybody who's wishy-washy. Don't wait for love, affection, an answer, I don't care who it is, from anybody who's wishy-washy. The Ace of Cups is saying, focus on yourself, make the decisions for yourself. Don't focus on outside parties unless they're willing to be there with you by your side. Especially ones that might be canoodling outside of your partnership if you're in one. This 3 of Cups is a little bit looming to me. Like it doesn't feel so right. Especially with the fire sign that feels like they could probably just do whatever they want. I'm not bitter. I'm just saying that I don't want you to hold on to something that's holding you back. And I feel extreme resentment towards this side of my table. And I'm not sure what that is. Maybe somebody can tell me why I'm so resentful. Focus on yourself. So yourself. Focus on yourself. Manifest from a place of love within yourself. And know that you're being supported along the way. 20% off all of my personal readings right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to end it before, I don't know if I'm going to end it at the end of September or if Virgo season is the only time I'm going to do it. But check it out. Get it while it's hot because that won't happen again until the holidays. So if you want to get 20% off a reading, it's only like $60 for 30 minutes. So there you go. Also 20% off my coffee mugs and t-shirts. Not the necklaces. The necklaces are full price, but that's because all the money is not going to me. It's actually going to the jeweler as well, the person that actually made the pendants and the necklaces. I only have a couple of these left. So, and even the ones that like everything is spoken for. So I only have a couple left, and yeah. I hope you guys are doing well. Please take good care of yourselves. Don't settle, don't settle, don't settle. We are not settling. I love you guys. Bye.